Welcome guys, welcome back guys. I'm in the scene build right now, and I'm just doing some of the components that we can be able to do. Okay, I'm just looking at some of the components and the layout of this, and I changed the main. If you open this, maybe your main layout is here. It's going to be the grid pane, most likely. I deleted it, and you can just delete anything that you want, and I replace it with an anchor pin. Okay, so before I explain this, I want us to be able to concentrate on this side and on this side and understand what these are able to do. These two panes, this side, it contains the components that we can be able to drag and drop on this window and be able to use them on our program. These components are buttons, you know, you may have dialog layouts, you may have table views, all that. So we can be able to use this. We drag them from here, from this pen here, and we drop them here. Okay, on our right hand side, this side, okay, we have a pen that is dealing with the properties of those components that we are able to use here. Now this is the side where those components, they get the properties, they get an ID, you know, they get you can change their color, you can change their size. You can see this is the size of this layout here, this pen here. It's a container, and we can do all this. Okay, that is one of the most important things to note about the scene builder. Okay, and guys, by the way, I was able to open this scene builder because I set my path here. You remember I explained about setting the path in this tutorial, all right, and how you can set the path to your scene builder. Okay, and I hope you guys are able to do that. But now I'm going to jump directly into the components so that you can see the cool stuff about these guys. Okay, so I'm going to, maybe you have a search bar here. Okay, you can just search for components. For example, we have a button here. Okay, I'm going to first of all deal with the button. This is a default button for JavaFX, and maybe I'm going to expound on it. All right, I'm going to expound on this a bit, and okay, after that, you know, you can even change the text just by clicking on it. You can say hello dev. All right, just click enter, and then the button, you know, it just accepts the changes. You can also preview this by going clicking on preview and show preview in window. You see, now you can see this is your button. Okay, this window is seeing that scene, how the scene will look like. All right, this is your button, and we can manipulate some of the other properties of the buttons. For example, you can change the, you know, we can change the background, the background, all that. All right, so we can come to the properties here, and maybe you can see the text field is black. All right, so you may even change this button. For example, I may say the color. Okay, effects background color. Okay, that changes the background color of the button. And maybe I might say crimson. Crimson is one of my best colors, by the way. So you can say we have changed that. All right, and when you set the fill, you know guys, the fill is it means just the text color. All right, and we can change it to that, and you can see it's white, all that. Okay, you can preview this, you know, you can just preview this. You see how how the button now looks like, and all this is just directly from the properties pane. Okay, you know, here you can also set a default style, you know, a default JavaFX style. You know, you can just set you can set it using here. Okay, you can add style sheets here, and a style sheet is a CSS. I'm going to show you guys how we can design this. We can edit this using CSS later. Okay, and okay, so this is a button, and this is declared. Remember, this button is declared in the XML structure. So this button is not yet declared in code. So if we were to run our program, of course it would run, but okay, let's run our program. Let's run our program and see whether it's connected. Okay, so you can see the program has already connected, and we have the a button here. So what I wanted to say is we haven't granted any action to this button. Okay, so for us to be able to grant that action, okay, we may have an action here. Okay, using the fx id, you know, the code here, the code part of this thing, we can have an action added here. Okay, now for you to be able to add here, you first declare the action in code, and then you can add it here but first of all I'm going to use one of the simpler methods that I prefer, and it is using the FX ID. And the FX ID is an ID that shall be identifying this button here uniquely throughout this program. So for example, I'm going to give it my button, okay, an FX ID of my button. All right, my button, okay. Now I'm going to click enter, and that is now the FX ID of my button. So if I have that, then I can come here in code. All right, and when I come in code, first of all I'm going to implement a method here. It's called the initializable. So I'm going to say implement initializable, and this is going to initialize this application so that we are able to use some of the components that we have declared in our Javafx. Okay, Javafx, the window, okay, such as that button. So I'm going to say we are going to annotate, okay, using at fxml. All right, I'm going to say private Javafx button, okay. Okay, I'm going to say private button. So you can see that we have two, okay. And okay guys, I'm going to ask the to pause this, and then okay, let's continue guys. I was checking on something there, but it's okay. So private button, and the button we have the abstract window item here, and we have the Javafx. Of course we want to use the scene.javafx.controls. Of course we want to deal with the button, private button, Javafx button, okay. We want the javafx.scene.control.